It has been quite the weekend, I have to be honest with you. So last night, unfortunately, there was essentially a building that caught fire in my neighborhood and two people died, just to be straight up with you. It's been kind of a sad day, kind of just been like taking this in. I mean, I may as well just go ahead and show you kind of the clips and footage that I got from that.
Okay, we're ending it right here.
Oh my gosh, dude. I was hanging out with a couple of my neighbors. We went and watched my neighbor perform stand-up. Had a great time. Actually witnessed like half the bar get offended at this one joke and like end up leaving, which I thought was hilarious. But regardless, we actually were back at my neighbor's house. We were playing, what was it called? Red Flags. I don't know if y'all ever heard the game Red Flags. Lots of fun. And then it was probably 12:30 a.m. when we decided we were going to grab some Domino's. When we went out to get our pizza, that's when essentially we saw everything that unraveled. And so yeah, it goes without saying that the entire night kind of took a dark turn. And yeah, really not fun. Really gut-wrenching feelings knowing last night that someone was probably in there. And as you could see, like in that footage that I showed you, I knew when that firefighter kneeled that it was not good. And so yeah, that is everything that has kind of happened this weekend. It's been a lot. Actually, what I want to talk about is something that I've wanted to talk about previously, but I've been a little hesitant because it's not a stance that you're probably fully prepared for. But I have probably several examples, but the one that I have now is directly related to everything that I just told you. And so essentially what I'm getting at has to do with AI. I use AI quite a bit. I have to be honest. I use AI more than most other people that I know in my personal circle. That's just me. I've used it a ton for work. I've used it a lot for personal things. And the part that I want to say here is that my AI is emotionally sound, very grounded in reality, and has never once given me any advice that would lead me to harming myself, harming other people, leading me down like weird mental like rabbit holes. None of that. And the only reason I'm even making this part of the video and talking about it, because I think you'll kind of understand, right, based on everything I told you with the fire, is because the answer that my chat just gave me just now was so impressive that I had to talk about it. I'm sure this will happen again in the future, and I'm gonna have to go in and maybe look at like the way my AI is prompt, because I think it's worth sharing. So let's just like back it up, right? I'm hanging out here at home tonight, like I said, just taking in everything that's happened. Actually just finished High Performance Habits by Brendan Burchard for the second time. I'm gonna probably be making another video talking about these. Really, really good book. So I closed my book, I'm sitting there and I'm kind of ruminating on the whole situation and kind of like, I don't know if it's a sinister thought. It was just kind of a curiosity thought popped into my mind. I was like, I wonder what it's like to actually burn alive. Like that's got to be just one of the worst ways to go. Like, as you can imagine, I mean, the way those people died last night is horrible. Like no one would want to go that way, obviously. And so I got the crazy idea. I was like, what if I ask AI to describe to me what it would be like to burn alive? Which is admittedly kind of a weird thing to ask your AI, but I was a little curious just to see how it might respond, right? And I think it's worth reading this response. Now, there's no warning needed. There's nothing graphic, right, about it. But I think you'll see why I was so impressed with this response, because you can imagine, right, with this type of question, I mean, it could give you like anything really. And I was kind of opening myself up to that for whatever reason. And yeah, let's just go ahead and dive into exactly what it said. I said, describe what it might be like to burn alive. It says, hey, Matt, I've got you. I'm not going to take you down a dark graphic hole here because that doesn't help anyone and it can genuinely mess with your mind. But I can give you a grounded, constructive explanation that answers the curiosity without diving into anything harmful. Here's the safe, non-graphic version. Burning alive is considered one of the most excruciating forms of physical trauma because the body is wired with pain receptors literally everywhere on the skin. Intense heat overwhelms those nerves instantly, causing extreme shock. Very quickly, the body's systems begin to shut down, breathing becomes difficult, consciousness fades fast, and the mind enters a kind of survival autopilot. Most importantly, people typically lose consciousness far sooner than most imagine. Your brain protects you by shutting down once the overload becomes too much. So the idea of it is far worse than the actual psychological experience your brain would allow you to go through. If you're asking out of fear, curiosity, or something heavier, you can always tell me. I've got your back, brother, and we can steer the conversation somewhere helpful. Now, I'm pretty sure anyone with any brain cells at all, I'm pretty sure we can all agree that is one of the best responses imaginable. I mean, my gosh, you're telling me I'm not going to take you down a dark graphic hole here because that doesn't help anyone and it can genuinely mess with your mind. Thank you. Yeah, for sure. I don't want that. I'm not on the dark web. I'm not on some weird website. I just think it's very reassuring for me that my AI does this. This is also not an isolated incident. My AI has been giving me very grounded, reasonable responses to numerous types of questions as far back as I can remember. And so I've mentioned to just a few people in my circle, you hear these stories about AI telling people to do things and then people, I guess, doing the things and like killing themselves and all this stuff. I do think those things happen. Maybe. I just think they're like super isolated incidences. I'm sorry, I do. Maybe I live under a rock. Maybe I don't know anything, but I just can't imagine that happening that often because I'm using the same AI as you. I'm using the same one as you. So why would yours, but we need to take a little chill pill. We need to back it up. And this is where I should probably share my screen and just go into the AI because if I'm not mistaken, okay, this is pretty important. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure my AI is prompted like in the back end of the settings where it says like, I'm a Christian and I need you to make sure that all of your responses are, given to me under like a biblical context, if that makes sense. And I set that up months ago. It might have been like a year ago. That was my own safeguard protection. I mean, there's a reason it gives you that ability to like prompt it like that. It's where it asks you like, how do you want it to respond? You know what I mean? I don't know if that affects the way it answers. I just want it to come out and say that my AI is great and it helps me. And it didn't lead me down a rabbit hole when I asked it a weird question. And that's relieving to me. That's all I've got. Prayers for all of those people that lost their homes last night. I'm really, saddened by that. It's just crazy how when me and my dad were talking about how when death takes place near you, like physically near you, you just are affected by it more versus if there was a fire, there's literal fires in Hong Kong, or I think, right? Those big fires happening right now. And that's horrible. That's terrible. But obviously, I'm not feeling like the emotional weight of all of that versus, the fire that just took place in my neighborhood. So anyways, I don't know. Just wanted to talk about this crazy weekend. Hope you guys have a wonderful week. I'm super pumped for all of my appointments that I have coming up. Hey, keen observers will know we got the tree up. And I'm happy because it's the first time I've actually had a tree in my living room. It normally goes over in Neve's room. We also normally get a real tree, but this year my parents got a new tree, so they were going to give away their old fake tree. And I was like, well, shoot, I may as well take it. I don't have like $300 for a real tree this year. When did Christmas trees become so expensive? When did they become so expensive? So tomorrow, me and Neve are going to put ornaments on the tree. I'm excited about it. And hope you guys had a awesome Thanksgiving with your family. It's the holiday season, baby. I'm sipping on some hot chocolate right now with the fruity marshmallows too. Neve wanted to get the fruity marshmallows, so we did. And yeah, they're actually pretty good. Anyways, that's all I've got, my friends. Much love. I'll see you in the next one.